Now we do the internal linings of the Bowman's capsule. Exactly what are the cells present? Okay. Your Bowman's capsule mainly is made up of the two layers: the parietal layer of glomerular capsule, that is the Bowman's capsule, and the visceral layer. Okay. The parietal layer is made up of epithelial cells, squamous epithelial cells, and your visceral layer is made up of cells which have long processes, finger-like processes, alright, which sit on, these are the capillaries, alright, the endothelial cells of the capillaries, which sit on these capillaries. They are called the podocytes, alright, and their finger-like projections are called pedicels. If you see the next diagram, this is the whole capillary which is coming, alright, inside the Bowman's capsule. On the capillary, the podocyte is sitting, alright, and it has long finger-like projections, mostly covering the full of the capillary, alright. There are only small spaces left in between, which are also important. We will do their importance also. Okay, that is your afferent arteriole, which goes into your glomerular capillaries, and then efferent arteriole. Alright, afferent and efferent arteriole afferent arteriole is always bigger. The lumen of the diameter of the lumen is always bigger compared to the efferent arteriole. This distinction is also important. Alright, we'll do that. Okay. Remember I told you the ascending limb of loop of Henle then goes and becomes the distal convoluted tubule. The ascending limb, when it is coming, it touches the afferent and the efferent arteriole, and then it comes and forms the distal convoluted tubule. Alright, ascending limb of loop of Henle in both cortical or juxtamedullary nephrons. Alright, so this thing which you see, right, the cells of this, no, it's a tube kind of a thing. Yeah. You have cut the tube and you are seeing it upper side. The cells, okay, the lining is epithelial only. These cells become very dense. There are many cells present which actually touches the arterioles. Alright. These are called the macula densa. They have an important function in discuss that. Alright. They are also called the juxtaglomerular cells. Why? See, anything juxta means touching something. So these are touching the afferent and efferent arteriole, which will go later on from the glomerulus. They are also called the juxtaglomerular cells. These cells are present in the arteriole. Okay, not in the. It's not a part of the ascending limb. It's a part of the arteriole. Remember, the arterioles or any blood vessel, there is an innermost lining of your endothelial cells. You have modified epithelial cells. Alright, they are present only in the lumen of capillaries, arterioles, venules. So they are called the endothelial cells. Modified epithelium. Remember, all ligaments internally are epithelial cells. In case of blood, they are given another name because they have a specialized function called the endothelial cells. Endothelial cells will have a basement membrane, and above that they will have a muscular layer. Alright. In case of arteries, the muscular layer is thick. In case of arterioles, it becomes thinner. This muscular layer is smooth muscles. Alright. Remember, smooth muscles are they are regulated by the autonomic nervous system. That is, it's a muscle. It will contract and relax, right? But its contraction and relaxation is not under your control. Alright? You cannot consciously contract the smooth muscles and relax them. It will happen automatically. Alright? And they are actually regulated involuntarily. You cannot control these muscles. These smooth muscles are present over here. They are also called the juxtaglomerular cells. Right? Is this clear?
Yes.
And then in between the macula densa cells and these gaps, right? These gaps are filled by special cells. They are called the mesangial cells. They also have an important function. Alright? The kidney overall has an important function of maintaining the blood pressure. Right? These juxtaglomerular cells, the macula densa, these mesangial cells, all of them can regulate blood pressure. Alright, how we'll discuss that later. Then your proximal convoluted tubule starts. Alright. Then comes your loop of Henle and your distal convoluted tubule. All of them have an internal lining of epithelial cells, but these linings are different. Alright, each are different linings. Okay. In the proximal convoluted tubule, we have microvilli. Alright, what is the function of microvilli? To increase the exposed area. Okay. Most of the reabsorption which happens in your excretory process, in urine formation process, happens in the proximal convoluted tubule. Alright. Therefore, these cells have microvilli. Alright. These are mostly simple cuboidal epithelial cells with brush borders of microvilli. We have done that chapter, right?
Yes, yes.
Different types of epithelial cells, simple, cuboidal, then columnar, stratified, pseudostratified, all of that. Don't even absent. Okay, so simple cuboidal epithelial cells. Then in the loop of Henle, in your descending limb and the thin ascending limb. Thin ascending limb only in case of the juxtamedullary nephrons. Alright, they are simple squamous epithelial cells. Alright. Then in the loop of Henle, in the thick ascending limb, they are simple cuboidal to lobe columnar. Alright. Then in your distal convoluted tubule, again they are simple cuboidal cells. Alright. And the last part of distal convoluted tubules, which will later on form the capillary ducts, there are two types of cells which are present. One is called the principal cells and the others are called the intercalated cells. Intercalated cells also have microvilli. They are considered as different type of cells because they secrete different hormones. We'll discuss that. Alright, but they are again simple cuboidal epithelial cells made up of the principal cells and the intercalated cells.